Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Alright, hi everyone and welcome to another video. So today is going to be a video. I haven't made this in probably over a year, I would think. It's been a long time because I've just had so much else going on and things to do. But I decided to make a what's on my Kindle for Kindle Unlimited. What do I have checked out in Kindle? I don't know. Or like a Kindle Unlimited TBR. I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but it's going to be one of those where I'm going to go through all the books I currently have checked out from Kindle Unlimited. For some reason, if you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, number one, you don't have to have a Kindle to do Kindle Unlimited, though it does make it the easiest. I have both a tablet and a Kindle and actually a Kindle Scribe, but I very first used Kindle Unlimited on my phone. I can't show you my phone because I film on it. And it was just a gateway drug to me in so many ways when I was in college and couldn't afford lots of books, and the libraries I had access to weren't either A, as sophisticated as they are now, where it's easier to get like digital content down, or I just didn't have access to some of the books that I love to read. And it was amazing. And yes, the price has gone up over time. And yes, Amazon is a soul-sucking demon, but they provide us with a lot of books. And it is a way to support the authors who are writing the books. So I will have a affiliate link down below for Kindle Unlimited, as well as like Audible and those down below. I am an Amazon affiliate, and so if you use my link to sign up, I get what's called a bounty, which is like a one-time like commission on it, which is pretty cool. So check that out. But also I thought I'd show off my Kindle. This is super cute. I am a rep for Ginger Snap Bookish Co. Samantha is the owner of that, and she made this amazing, it's a Marauders map, and it has these little feet that move around on the map. It's so cute. She also made a few of the stickers I have on here. Like this one says the Shadow Daddy Book Club. It's hard to read on my ring light, and then those. So I'll have a link to her down below. But this is my bedecked Kindle. But I am actually going to use the Fire tablet to go through because reading the descriptions is easier on this one than it is on there. So I'm going to break this into kind of like two groups, how I go through it. First off, so you used to only be able to check out 10 KU. Do you guys remember that day? Do you remember when we could only check out 10? That is absolutely flabbergasting to me, right? Absolute flabbergastery to me that we could only check out 10. But you can check out 20 at a time. There's also other benefits with Kindle Unlimited, like easy upgrade to Audible, just as well as like ease of like when I download it one place, it's on all of your devices at once, which is great. Again, not trying to just pimp out Kindle Unlimited, but this is a video about what's on my Kindle Unlimited, so there's that. So you can check out 20. Now, not too long ago, my sister actually got a Kindle, and she shares my Amazon account. So I do let her have access to my KU as well. So she actually has 2 books checked out that are hers. So I actually have 18 to share is what we'll do. Let's see what she has. She actually has The Serpents and the Wings of Night checked out. So at least she has good taste. And The Secret Zoo, which looks like it's one for the kids. So I'm like, don't give the kids just general access to my stuff. It was a warning for them. But anyway, we're going to go through these 18. So like I said, I'm going to split these into 2 groups. So one is going to be like authors I've already read and or these are sequels to series I've already started. And then B will be new to me authors / they were recommendations that I got from viewers or Instagram or whatever. Because a lot of these are going to be sequels to stuff, or they're authors that I read every book that they write. But I'm still going to like go through them with you. And we're going to do that. So let's start off with the ones that will be like a new to me one. Okay. So, sorry, I made a list so that I don't miss anything. Let's go with Caught in the Axe by Daphne Elliott. Now, I don't believe I've read anything by Daphne Elliott. I think I have downloaded ones before and I never got like around to them. But this one is book 1 in her main Lumberjack series. And this one is my ex's brother. He's 10 years older and he's only in town for a few weeks. And so she agrees to be his temporary assistant, but it gets harder to resist him. He's all beard, broad shoulders, and growls, but I savor every one of his smiles. I'm so close to a fresh start I've been working towards for so long, but while I'm ready to leave behind the moose, the lumberjacks, and the crazy small town gossip, I can't stay away from Owen. We're tasked with cleaning up a bit of a disaster in order for his family to move on from their painful past, and we can only succeed if we trust one another. Our late nights, road trips, and inside jokes bring us too close and make it too difficult to stay away, and while on a business trip, we don't just cross a line, we demolish it. We've both been burned by the small town rumor mill, so we agree to keep things quiet, but secrets don't keep in Lovewell for long, and it's only a matter of time before we get caught in the act. So this one says it's a standalone small town romance featuring a nerdy, grumpy lumberjack with a heart of gold hidden under his flannel shirt and the sunshine ex-beauty queen who loves challenging him. So I've seen Daphne Elliott's books all over. Like, I believe book 2 in this series is a, like, they are exes and it's a accidental pregnancy. Like, they have one last fling and they get pregnant. And I won't pretend to not be super excited about that. Okay, then there's this one called The Dark Before the Light. And this one is L.M. Holloran. Now, I'll be honest, I don't fully remember if this one was in my book recommendation form or if I saw it on Instagram. I don't remember because this one's been on my Kindle for quite a few months and I haven't got around to it. But this one is a therapist / patient forbidden romance, a surprise second chance, dislike to obsess to love, a battle of wills, a bossy Irish hero, and a former dom, as in heroine is the dom, and a sprinkle of suspense. So this one looks really good. I'll read a little bit of the blurb. I don't want to read the blurbs for every single one, but the ones that I haven't read the authors before, I am, because I don't know anything about these. Whereas the ones that are going to be sequels, I'll just kind of tell you about it. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm being me. I'll have links to all of these down below as well if you just want to check out the book yourself. But you're here to hear me talk, so here we go. This one says, I've never fallen for a patient, but I've never had one quite like him. Kieran Hayes is a modern-day king. Brilliant, arrogant, and ruthless, the Irish tech hero has spent the last decade building his legacy in my city. But now he's breaking beneath the weight of his multi-billion-dollar crown. Forced into my therapy office, he's confident I can't help him, but I'm determined to prove him wrong. Kieran will never know my desire to treat him stems from more than professional obligation. He doesn't remember the long-ago act of kindness that changed my life, but I've never forgotten it. This time, I'm going to save him, or so I think. The more I learn about his beautiful mind, the more my professional boundaries crumble, especially when he decides he doesn't want any boundaries or clothes separating us. Can I save him without sacrificing my ethics, or will Kieran be the first man to bring me to my knees? So, sounds like a former dom is willing to switch a little bit for her hero, so it looks interesting. Okay, yeah, I remember why I grabbed that one now. Then this one here, Before I Love You by A.J. Alexander. Now, I'm pretty sure I grabbed this one. Oops, no. Sorry, my thing's not listening to me. Pretty sure I grabbed this one because of a later book in the series. Yes, because there's a book later in the series that I really wanted to read. And I decided to grab the first one in here. So the series is called I Love You, which that's cool. But this one is Before I Love You, and it says it is a single parent small town. And it also says this was previously published as Refuge, and it's been recovered and re-edited. So yeah, this is a new to me author. And I can't remember which book I saw later in the series. I don't know, but let me read the blurb for this one. Oh yeah, it's not just a single parent. This is a double single parent. That's why I grabbed it. I'm still trying to make a rec video for double single parents, but I don't have enough books yet. If you have a recommendation for double single parent, please leave it down below. there was actually 3 that have come out this year, which is great. But anyway, this one says, a single mom who's given up on finding love, a single dad who wants to change her mind. I'm glad I'm reading these because I want to read that. After finding out my relationship was a complete lie, I pack up my life and teenage daughter, seeking a fresh start in Tyson Creek. I planned on focusing on my daughter, making her my #1 priority, until I meet a stranger determined to derail all my plans. Our first meeting is like a strike of lightning, something that only happens in stories, giving me more than one reason to keep my distance. However, our meddling friends and daughters make that next to impossible. Each time we meet, my heart softens further toward him and the idea of falling in love again. Connor's panty-dropping smile and the way he dotes on my daughter spell nothing but trouble for the walls I constructed around my heart, making it next to impossible not to fall in love with him. Yep, this one is one I grabbed because of a later book in the series, but also because I read that and saw it was a double single parent, which I love. There's actually only one other of these that has a new to me author. See, I told you a lot of these are sequels. Okay, this is one that I saw on Instagram. I can't remember the name of the person. I remember the video though. She did a video that was, is it overhyped, underhyped, or the hype is legit? And she had this one in there and I had never heard of it, and it's a mafia. So this one is called Bound by Deception. It's the Lords of the Commission, and it's by Stephanie Amaral. Never heard of her. Oops, come on. Never heard of her. And I was intrigued by her saying that it's underhyped, and I'm like, it must be. So this is actually book 2 in a series though, which I assume it's a series of standalones, but okay. If you've ever read Nikki Harris's Mafia series, it's kind of like that, because this is book 2 in a series, but it's book 1 in a duet within a series. Okay, if that makes sense. So this is book 2, but it's the first book about this couple, but then there's a second half to it. So this one says this. Matt. Love is a weakness for ruthless men, and I was as weak as they came, just for her. Ooh, sorry. I had a goal, take over for my grandfather and become one of the lords in the commission, the New York Mafia Don. One of the Sinique Grandi, I don't know how to say it. The only imposition was to get married first, to whom it doesn't matter as long as I was a married man. The seat would be mine. But I knew who I wanted since the first time I saw her. Little did I know she'd fall into my lap as if fate itself had made our lives collide. I had no idea she was a mafia princess. I had no idea she was my brother's fiance. But I couldn't let him have her, so I took her for myself. 2 birds with 1 stone, right? But she would never surrender, and I thought I wouldn't either. So, this one says, it's a forced marriage, enemies to lovers. There are dark subjects throughout. And again, this one ends in a cliffhanger, but book 2 is already out. So, come on, I'm always looking for more mafia. I know you guys are too. All right, now we're going to go through the ones that are sequels or authors I've already read before. And again, I won't go in quite as much detail. So let's get started with Fall Into You. Yes, I know. I haven't finished this one yet. And I'm willing to give it another go. I actually believe I'm going to grab the audio for this one. So I know that I'm in the minority. I know. But I did not care for Liars Like Us. I really did not care for that hero or the scenario in the book. It just didn't work for me. So when Fall Into You came out, I didn't get an arc of that one, which is all right. It's fine. It's totally fine. Because I didn't like Liars Like Us. I was like, okay, it's fine. So I started Fall Into You, and this one is an office romance, and it's an asshole boss type of thing. And I just was sick of the same, like it's literally the same as the first one in how he talks about her and thinks about her and stuff. And then they end up like hate fucking, and then it's a lot of like my dick is jerking and all these things. And I expect better from JT Geisinger, okay, who wrote a complete 4-star series to me, or not a 4 books that were 6 stars for me. Okay, I expect more, and it wasn't working for me. So I DNF'd this at 30%. And I always meant to get back to it before the next one came out. Kids outside. I always meant to get back to it before the next one came out. And I did get an arc of the third book, which comes out the end of this month. So I need to finish this book. Now, her books do read really easy for me. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to give it a second chance. I'm going to start from the beginning again and get to it. So yeah, this one is an office romance. She gets hired as his assistant. And then it was someone she had hooked up with before. So yeah, this one is spicy bedroom scenes intended for mature audiences only. Oh, you think? But then, yeah, the third one comes out the end of the month. It got pushed from September to October because their family had to evacuate due to the wildfires where she lives. But I will be getting to that one soon, like very soon. Okay, then there is A Soul to Protect, which is Dustwalker Bride's book 7. So, again, not going to read like the blurb of this one here, but this one, I love the Dustwalker Brides. I really do. Particularly the first 5 books, I gobbled them up like crazy. I binged these huge books so fast. And this world is wild. Now, I believe the series is coming to a close with book 8, and then there will be a prequel for the, like, Lord of the Universe and the White Owl character. I think there's supposed to be a prequel about their story. But honestly, like, I didn't care for book 6 the way I wanted to. I really wanted to love that one. It was an romance, and the hero in that one was so precious, but it had an amnesia trope, and I did not care for it. So when A Soul to Protect came out, I wasn't as like gung-ho to get into it, but I definitely will. I definitely will get into it. So this Dustwalker is I think this is the like snake mafia, or like the like water one. Yeah, I think he's the water one. And then there is another one coming still that will be another A Soul to Embrace. Yeah, here it is. A Soul to Embrace comes soon. And that one will be another. I think it's supposed to be a female Dustwalker is what it's going to be. So I definitely want to get to book 6. It's a big book, and because I didn't like book 6, I wasn't as excited for this one. But I still very much trust Opal Rain, so we'll get back to it. Okay, then there is Love Utley. Love Yuli. I know she said how to say this, but I will be getting, I believe, an ALC of book 2, which I know I can read it as a standalone, but I'll want to read this one. I know this one is like love letters and grand gestures. I loved her Alliance series, but I've only read one other book by her that wasn't Mafia, and I didn't love it. I feel like her over-the-top writing works very well in a Mafia setting, not so much in other places. But I know everyone's mad for S.J. Tilly. They are gaga for her, and I do appreciate her a lot. So I definitely want to read this one. I think I'll get the audio upgrade for this one. And then Dear Rosie comes out, I think, the end of this month, maybe, or next month. And I will be getting an ALC, so I definitely want to get to this one. Which I guess it starts as like a college, and then I think they run into each other later. Not 100%. Okay, then there is Bourbon Promises. So this is a Bourbon Canyon series by Walker Rose, and I previously read Bourbon Runaway, which was a runaway bride, and this one is a Vegas wedding. So this one is Gideon James, and he's a CEO of a Vegas casino and hotel, and he's also a Bourbon Canyon prodigal son. So I believe he's like a part of the family that we follow. And she's a school teacher, and they end up married for some reason. He needs a union to help him get his land, but in exchange, before he divorces her, she wants a baby, because she's like, if I'm going to be married to you for this or whatever, I want a child in exchange. And I'm here for that. I really enjoyed Bourbon Runaway, so I'm definitely willing to read more. But I had an arc of Bourbon Runaway. I didn't have an arc of this one, and you guys know, it's not because I don't get picked for the arc that I don't want to read it. I still want to read it. It's just when I don't get picked for the arc, it's hard to prioritize it. Just facts. It's hard to prioritize it. Okay, then there's Hunted by a Shadow, which is Michelle Hurd. You guys know how I feel about her. I've read books 1 and 2 in the Kings of Mafia. Book 1, loved it. Like really, really loved it. Book 2, it was cool. It was solid. It worked. This one, yeah, is book 3 in Craving Danger, or book 3 in the Kings of Mafia. And this one looks super intriguing. Like, I'll just tell you a little bit of this one. It says, when I finally get a life-saving kidney transplant, I think the worst is behind me. Boy, am I wrong. I start feeling eyes on me everywhere I go. I'm being watched, stalked, hunted. It's downright scary. Then the hunter steps out of the shadows and my life implodes. I'm taken by Renzo Teresi, a dangerous and unforgiving man. Turns out the kidney I received belonged to one of his men, and I have to repay the debt. Only the terms are unclear, and the rules change on a whim. He held prisoner in his penthouse. I have to serve the ruthless mafia boss like the god he is. Whether I'll survive being Renzo's captive is up for debate, though. I love it. Michelle Hurd writes some of the baddest mafia dudes who are the biggest squishmallows ever. So I definitely want to get to this one. Her books also read very easily. So yeah, organ transplant, that is unique for sure. Okay, Cottonmouth. You know, not too much to say for this. This one is book 6 or 7 in the Naga's Bride series. I really want to get the paperback of this. I have it in my wish list because I have the like clinch covers of all of these and I love them. And this cover, just look at his hand placement and like, so yeah. And this one I believe is Cottonmouth is being held captive and I think she like works there. So it's going to be one where she kind of like frees him and they get out of town, you know, or get out of the spaceship, I think. And I know she still has more coming in this series. Now, I'm actually going to be rereading King Cobra this month. I don't know if my patron is going to have me continue annotating those, but if we do, I'm going to reread all the others before I get to this because I have forgotten a lot about this world. Because there was a big gap between Boom Slang and this next one, and it's been a long time since I've read it, so... Okay, When He Takes, which I'm so sorry this one's taking me so long to get to. When He Desires was the first part of this duet. So this is the Fallen God duet. And this one was about, hold on here, sorry, I forgot his name. This one was about Nero, who was undercover as Rowan, and he kind of fell for his neighbor, and then he ends up like kidnapping her and taking her to New York with him. Now he's still like a wanted man in New York, so it's going to be very dangerous for this. But they just have a crazy connection, so I'm excited to see how this one plays out. I really liked Nero and Blake. I just loved how, you know, it was like bringing the mafia dude into suburbia. So yeah, she also has a dark past though, like her father, I think, was a part of an MC. And so she felt like she was the danger to him when she didn't know who he was. And I just really like that juxtaposition. It was really cool. So yeah, but anywho, I also believe he forces her to marry him for part of his like cover. So definitely will be getting to that one. Between Fear and Favor. Now this, I am disappointed in myself that I haven't got to this yet. I'll be fully honest with you. But in my defense, and also I'm not ragging on Jess, by the way. I love her. I love her stories. She's wonderful. But this book was pushed first from last year. Then it was pushed from April to May to June, July, all the way till September. And I was on the ARC team for this. But by the time we got the ARC, I think we only had like 4 days, and I already had so many books coming out in September. So this book that I was supposed to read in like May is now all the way in September, and I just didn't have the bandwidth I know that word is weird. I didn't have the mental capacity to get to it before. Like, I just didn't, straight up didn't. But also, there's no idea when the fourth one is coming, and both of the previous ones have had pretty big cliffhangers. So, you know, and I do kind of want to at least skim read book 2, reread it, because I reread Between Wrath and Mercy not that long ago, but I haven't reread Between Despair and Hope at all. So, and there was a lot of stuff, and the world changed a lot. There was a lot of PTSD characters we're handling. There was a lot going on. So I kind of want to do that. Since I didn't get to the arc beforehand, I'm now kind of like, well, maybe I'll just wait and reread it. I don't know. But I definitely will. And I downloaded the KU one, so I'm at least giving her KU pages. Since I didn't finish the arc and review it ahead of time, I wanted to give her my page reads at least, so I have that. Okay, then there is The Scandal of Rose by Joanna Shupe. And boy, this starts out spicy, okay? I haven't even like, this is a little novella that is setting up her Gilded Age series, which I didn't realize that, to be honest. I thought The Scandal of Rose was like a book that was maybe included in an anthology before, and now she was releasing on its own. But Joanna Shupe hadn't had any books listed for a while. Like, I've been waiting, you know. And she does have a Mila Finelli one that's coming. She's starting a new series next year. Or is it the end of this year? I don't know. She has a Mila Finelli coming. But she didn't have a Joanna Shupe since, like, the beginning of 2023. I don't know. But she's going to be starting the Gilded Heiress. Well, the Gilded Heiress, what we call it. And it's going to be the Gilded Age. Anyway, so The Scandal of Rose just came out the beginning of October. And this is a novella in that new series. So it's almost 200 pages long, and it definitely seems spicy. It literally starts spicy right away, so she's really going for it. And there's also like multiple POVs in it, and it's first person, so it's just very like different from other from other historical romance. So I'm very intrigued to read this one, and I will hopefully get to it soon. It's on my TBR for this month, so I hope I get to this one soon. And then I have another novella to mention, which is Darling Bride by Rhea Morris Edwards. So if you read Sovereign, there's then a novella that is a epilogue basically for those characters. And then if you read Weston, this one is the novella for that. And I actually like saved it because I wanted to be able to read this one still, because Deacon isn't coming for quite a while. So I did save this one, but I will be reading that one soon probably. It's not super long. I think it's only 70 pages. Okay, then Sunlight by Devney Perry. So I did not read the first one in this series. I know I maybe could have, should have, but my friends didn't like love this one that much, though it is a download, read and listen, by the way. So if you download the first book, you get the audio. I downloaded Sunlight. You get the audiobook with it. If you have KU, right, and you have Audible, you can do that. And Crystal loved this one. And it's an accidental pregnancy. It's a Western. I think a bit of suspense. And she gave it 5 stars, which has me very excited. You guys know I love accidental pregnancy, and I like Devney Perry. I like her a lot. I'm just peculiar about which ones of hers I do like, right? So I snagged this one and the audiobook, and I hope to get to this one soon. But yeah, I love accidental pregnancy, especially when they're like pregnant for, you know, like they both know pretty soon. Okay, then there is Taking It Off by Claire Kent. So I'm trying to read all of Claire Kent's backlist. I haven't been as proactive with that lately because I've just had so many other things to do. But she's such a comfort author for me. And this one is about a male sex worker. He's actually a stripper. And apparently this heroine goes to, let me open it here. She goes to a strip club for, I think, a friend's bachelorette party. Let me pull it up. Let me just pull it up instead of. So yeah, Elizabeth goes to a male strip club for a bachelorette party and she wants to leave right away. She doesn't enjoy it until she talks to Matt and then sees him perform. He's deep and fascinating and very sexy, and when he issues her a challenge to keep returning to the club, she surprises herself by agreeing. After all, she might be working hard to make a safe, affluent future for herself, but there can't be any danger in indulging in her wild side. And so Matt knows spending time with Elizabeth is a one-way trip to trouble. She's the daughter of a man who might be governor. Ooh. And she's looking for a future husband who will belong in that world. She'll never take a stripper seriously, but he's good at detachment, and a no strings attached relationship couldn't do any harm as long as only their bodies and never their hearts are involved. So classic Claire Kent. Classic Claire Kent. That is, so many of her stories are about, we're going to just have the sex and not anything else. But I love those type of stories. So, okay, just 2 left here. So I grabbed Jade Legacy in KU, actually. I just finished Jade War. I will absolutely be reading Jade Legacy soon-ish. Not right away, because I honestly am still processing Jade War. It was heavy and a lot of things happened, but I saw that these books were in KU, so I snagged Jade Legacy because I've been listening to the audiobooks, and the audio upgrade is a little bit cheaper than like using a credit for it, so I may use that. I'm gonna buy a physical copy too, for sure, because I have the first 2, but yeah. And then the very last one that I have downloaded on KU, because as I said, 18 of them are mine, is The Way We Play by Tia Louise. And I'm actually reading this one right now as an ALC, though it is already available on audio. It got released early. I got a audio copy of this, and I often like to be able to follow along in the book. That's just how I read. So that is one that I'm doubled up on. And that one is an ex-football player who's currently a like handyman for this wealthy woman who's blind. And this blind woman, she also has a like physical therapist and exercise guru who helps her stay mobile and just helps her around the house and everything. And this is their romance between the 2 of them. And he's very grumpy, and it's very cute so far. So there you have it. Those are the 18 books I have checked out. Some of them I'm more excited about than others. Some of them are definitely on my TBR. Some of them were just ones I grabbed on a whim because people suggested them and they looked fun. So what I love to do with these videos is, as I said, I will have all of them listed. So if you were interested by me talking about any of them, you can grab them down below. You can try Kindle Unlimited if you'd like to give it a go. But I want you to tell me which ones you think I should prioritize, either because you want to know what I think about them, or you've already read them and think I'll like them. Give me the lowdown, everybody. Give it to me. So yeah, there you go. That is everything I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I'll see you next time.